Gonna open it up in front of you. Open it up. They were baseball cards. I was like, all right. So she's like, okay, go. I grabbed another pack. So I'm just gonna open them up in front of you. Baseball cards. I'm like, oh, this is ridiculous. So I don't know what you want to do. So I went, I grabbed the whole box. It was a box of them. I brought them up there. I said, you can't sell them because they're misrepresenting. And I know you didn't do it. It was from Tops themselves. They put baseball cards in Garbage Pail Kids. But you can't sell them because, like I said, they're not Garbage Pail Kids. They're baseball cards. So they're misrepresented. Well, we can't. I said, well, no. Hey, as retail, you shouldn't be selling them, because they're misrepresenting what they are. So I say you just need to take them off, let the person know, your vendor, get a credit. I mean, that's how you work. That's retail right there, whatever. Long story short, it's like, all right. So I wrote an email to Tops saying, hey, Tops, just let you know I bought a bunch of these. Really excited, kind of a flashback to my childhood. Really disappointed that I bought a bunch of them, had to return them. They were all baseball cards. Didn't hear anything, whatever. So I did eventually, then I went and did buy a box of them at another place just to try them out. Sometimes you just gotta try again. You can't just always assume, it's not gonna be. So I tried. Long story short, there we go. We're gonna open these up. Here we go. We hate the 90s. I don't. That was my, teenage years with the 90s. So I am fond of the 90s. Just like I'm fond of Grunge Greg, because that was the music that I listened to besides, rock, Grunge Greg. Overall, look at that, that's silly. He's got his overalls holding up his eye, his face. Overall. Oh, we have Died Dennis. That's right. He's on the Trolls for the 90s. Dennis Rodman, the guy who's going to help us with North Korea. That just says it all. Who are you going to send to help with North Korea? Dennis Rodman. Then you're in deep trouble when you're sending Dennis Rodman to do diplomatic stuff. Ooh, Matty Balls. You remember those? I think those were the 80s. The Mad Balls. Maybe the 90s. That could have been early 90s. Like I said, my childhood was 80s to, 92. Once 93 hit, I gave up on toys and all that. So pretty much 92 was the end of my toys. And apparently I'm still collecting toys, whatever. We have Pat Turn. It's Pat Turn. Yeah. Oh, everyone remembers from the 90s. Fishy Fred. Remember the Big Mouse Bass? Oh, Package Mail. Hey, you remember that? You remember having Lunchables at school? Yeah, you remember Lunchables at school, yeah, don't you? And then you remember trying Lunchables as an adult, don't you? And you realized, man, those are disgusting. Those are disgusting. Yep, Lunchables. You thought they were good as a kid. Oh boy, they are terrible. Oh, Scrunchy Sherry. Yeah, I remember the 90s. That was the thing. When you were in the 90s, do you remember that? If you had a girlfriend in the 90s, or a girl or whatever, she had a scrunchie, you'd get her scrunchie. You know what I mean? That's kind of what kids did back in the 90s. Junior high, If you had a girlfriend or something you liked, she had a scrunchie. She'd give you your scrunchie or something like that. I don't know. That's not what I remember. I don't know. But I just remember scrunchies. Even in the 80s, man. Girls went nuts for the scrunchies. Every kind of scrunchie whatsoever. I mean, scrunchies, everything. I mean, we're just talking about everything. You want to bring back everything? You want to talk about koosh balls? You remember koosh balls? Yeah. Do you remember Men in Black? It's Men in Blake. Are they in Blake? It's Men in Blake. Ooh, Imaginative Edward. Imaginative Edward. There's Atom Bomb right there. Oh, Taylor Tubby. It's the Teletubbies. Oh, gosh. Yep. The Teletubbies. Ooh. Oh, that's not right. That's not right. It's Munchin' Mike. And he's munching on Evander Holyfield's ear. Man, if you were a kid in the 80s and 90s, you knew Mike Tyson with that left hook just knock you out 14 seconds. Remember that? And they boxed Evander Holyfield. Had a problem. Then he bit his ear off. You know, he had some problems. He's getting help now. Mike Tyson. Punch out, you know. Oh, boy. Beanie Barbie. You remember Beanie Babies, folks? It's Beanie Barbie. And let me tell you a story, folks. I was working at a garden center in the 90s when Beanie Babies were a thing. I worked at a garden center. We happened to carry Beanie Babies. I had to literally not, I believe, you know, when was that? I would have been probably maybe 19. And I was working at a garden center. And one Saturday, we were selling Beanie Babies. And I had to go, we had to let 2 people in at a time. And I had to walk these people to the place where they had Beanie Babies. And I watched people fight over freaking Beanie Babies. Adult women and men. And I'm like, what is wrong with these people? It's a stuffed animal. Like, oh my gosh. These people, oh, I'm getting, oh, don't. Oh, I couldn't believe it. That was the first time that I ever witnessed that. You know what I mean? It's like the new toy you got to get for your kid. But it was, you know, people were collecting them for themselves and their kids. And then what happened to Beanie Babies? You know, just like everything. You know, it bottoms out. So you have to know when you want to collect things, because you like to collect them, what things are going to be valuable, or when you need to get out of the market before everything you have is eventually not worth anything. But there you go, Beanie Babies. Like I said, I almost saw adult people fighting over little stuffed animals. Most craziest thing I've ever seen. Ooh, look at that. Oddity. We have Oddity. I don't quite know what, something's coming out of his head. Ooh, look at that. Coming out of his breath. I don't know. Looks like Wolverine or something there. I don't know. That's weird. All right. Oh, did I do that? Do we all remember? It's Family. Do we all remember Steve Urkel? Did I do that? Yep. Oh. Jonathan Fakes. Remember that? There we go. There's another thing. You know, flashback to 90s. Do you remember, folks, when you were watching in the 90s, Fox, when all of a sudden they come out with that? Tune in Sunday for an hour-long thing of alien autopsy. You remember that? They just had some crazy crap in the 90s on Fox. You know, all the stuff that was on Fox. They do that all the time, you know. tune in this week. We're going to do unmasking, or this person's going to come on and they're going to tell you how to do all these tricks, and they're going to get death threats. You know, remember the unmasking guy who came in, who showed how to do all those tricks, and all the magicians wanted to kill him because he was showing off how to do all the tricks? Remember that guy? The masked magician? I don't remember what he was called. But there you go. Let's bring back the 90s. We're doing it right now. It's just gonna, it's just popping stuff back from imagination of what I remember of the 90s. Here we go. Oh boy. Oh boy. We got Trollin' Rollin'. Man, I think if you're of any age, you're probably going to be familiar with the troll doll. You know, if you're in your 70s, you know a troll doll. If you're in your, if you're a 1-year-old, you know the trolls. Trolls seem to have not gone away. The weirdest little things. But yeah, troll dolls. It's Furby. I never had a Furby, but I hear, you can't kill them. Whatever you do, you can't kill them. Run them over, they're still alive. Furbies. Ooh, it's Space Chase. Do y'all remember Space Ghost? The original cartoon? No, you don't, unless you're older. But those who might have watched Adult Swim might remember Space Ghost Coast to Coast on Adult Swim. That's Space Ghost right there. Oh, it's Drowning Dawson in Vanderbeek Creek. I don't want to wait for our night to be over. I want... No, you know what I mean? Did anyone watch Dawson Creek? I didn't. That was one show I skipped. I watched everything else. I didn't watch Dawson's Creek. Sorry. Just like I didn't listen to Tell Me What You Want, What You Really Know. I didn't listen to the Spice Girls. It's Ginger Ginger and the Mortar and Pestle. The Spice Girls. Oh. Crisscross. Crisscross. That reminds me, I'm sorry. This is just a flashback to all those. This reminds me to junior high. And I had some friends. And it was back when crisscross were a big thing. And they used to wear their pants backwards. And they thought, they came into we were all at lunch. And they came into lunch. They thought, oh man, we're the coolest kids. And they wore their pants backwards like crisscross. Oh, it was the saddest day. I'm not even going to say the comments that kids came up with that day, but they were harsh. And then to top it off, I felt really bad for them. They were my buddies. To top it off, that was the day they happened to be going, I don't know, they were doing something, going to the doctor or something, and their mom happened to walk in, and she was not happy with, that they had their pants on backwards, and you know what I mean? But, that was back in the 90s, when life was a little carefree. You didn't have to worry about all the stuff going on with kids in school nowadays. Where parents could just walk in. That was back in the day, you could just walk into the airport all the way to the terminal, say goodbye to people. You can't do that anymore, Those days are long gone. We're not going to get into the specifics, but yeah, you used to be able to do a lot of stuff in the 80s and 90s, even before that. Every generation says, man, you know what I could do back then? And now we can't do that anymore. So I think that's progression. Probably good thing we can't let anyone into schools. It's probably a good thing we don't let anyone in just to willy-nilly go into an airport. Security. Safety first. There's that story. Oh, boy. Wendy Willie. We all know who that is. You saw him play saxophone on Arsenio Hall, and you thought, oh, he's going to be a cool president. You know what I mean? But yeah, Neon Leon. Yep. Not sure what that's supposed to be. Neon Leon. But there were, I don't know. Any of you remember there were these little, kind of like that, but they were skin colored. Little different figures. They were little wrestling buddies or something. They came in a garbage can. They weren't Garbage Pail Kids, but they were all. You remember those things, guys? They almost looked like erasers, but they were different. You know, they were like samurais and mechanical guys, and they all were different. And they were like wrestlers. I mean, that's just. I forgot about that since, for like 20 some years. That just kind of popped in my head. I just remember they looked like this guy. They were different ones, I just don't remember what they were called. You might be like, oh man, I remember those. Holy crap. I don't remember. But yeah, that's kind of, like I said, this is a flashback. Here we go. Gladiator. Spent many days. This is like 80s and into the 90s. Watched Gladiator. American Gladiator. You watch that Saturday mornings. Zack Attack. Bayside High School. Okay, folks. I watched it. I don't remember it. But I did watch it. I'll admit it. I watched Saved by the Bell. I don't remember it. But I remember Zack and Screech. And then the girls, the one who went into whatever the strange movie, Wild Things and all that. And then, of course, Mario Lopez. I'm on whatever, Channel 11. Inside I did whatever he's on. Yeah. He made a career. Rest of these people, I don't know. Yeah, well, we all know he had some problems. You know what I mean? He's dealing with cancer right now. All right. Can't say I know what that is from. Nerfy Neo, but I guess Nerf gun. Oh, see, he put it backwards and it shot the Nerf arrow through his heart. See, yeah. He's supposed to be a Cupid. But, yep, he's kind of a dumb. He shot his heart right out of his chest because he doesn't know how to use his Nerf gun. Oh, look at that. We have a powdered toast stand. Look at that. Is that supposed to represent Ren and Stimpy? Hey, Ren! Stimpy! Ren and Stimpy. Matt Tats. Yeah, there's Matt Tats. Yeah, Matt Tats. It's Bopped Bo. Yeah, Bo, look at that. He got hit so hard his face came forward and his eyes are popping out. That's just goofy. We got Mad Bill. Those mad balls again. Oh, Tear Eden Tyson. This is a little under the, hitting the belt too hard. Mike Tyson would probably appreciate that now. You know what I mean? Mike Tyson. Well, these are all, okay, this say, hey, 90s toys, 90s fads, 90s politics. Mike Tyson was apparently politics and news. Well, yes, that would be news in the 90s when he bit his ear off. Man, it was that long ago. Whew. Holy buckets. Okay. Jonathan Frakes. Did William Riker, didn't he do the alien autopsy for Fox? Was he the narrator on that? I think he was. I think that's why it's, I don't know. But I know he did some, yeah. So now, We're going to open up these bathroom buddies just to see what these are about. I'm guessing this is going to be bathroom humor. You know? I mean, it's pretty much it's all potty humor. Here we go. We have Grant Slam. That's silly. Goodbye, Billy. These are their bathroom buddies because they're all in the bathroom. Bloody Boris. Was Boris Karloff? Was he, trying to remember if he was Nosferatu. He was one of them, I think. Boris Karloff. I think he was one of the vampires. He might not have been Nosferatu. That was, long ago when that movie came out. But he might have been one of the ones in like the 50s or something. I don't know. Oh boy. Jeez. Sad Sack Mac. Feral Errol. Yeah. Bathroom buddies. Oh, look at Showered Howard. These stickers feature a previously unpublished painting from the lost second series of Bathroom Buddies, the 90s Garbage Pail Kids spin-off. Alright, that's what, okay. Oh, we got Glad Vlad here. Last one. It said not more fan of the Garbage Pail Kids than these Bathroom Buddies, I have to say. These don't really do nothing for me. We have Glad Vlad, Flushed Phillip, and Grant Slam. Once again, nothing too exciting. I'll say the same, yeah. Unpublished, lost second series. Well, you know what? There might have been a reason you lost them. Because you realized, that those would have been good in the 80s. These at least you have some humor with the Garbage Pail Kids. You know what I mean? There's some humor here. These are just kind of, I guess they are for kids. But you know what I mean? We hate the 90s. Who are buying them? Kids aren't going to buy it. They don't remember the 90s. People who buy in the 90s were people who were alive, younger people in the 90s who, pop culture, things like that. You know what I mean? That's just my thing. Once again, hey, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, there's a reason. I guess there was a reason I left some of those unopened. Like I said, and I wanted to show you, but when I bought these boxes, I did, so I already did open a bunch of those. But there we go. Once again, my favorite movie. One of my favorite movies. Not my favorite movie. But They Live. Roddy Piper. Yeah, great movie. Let me just see if there's... Just look through these real quick and see if I can find... the best one. Oh, it looks like... like these are horror ones? I don't understand. These are horror ones. I'm going to find my favorite one. That might be right there. Ooh, there's going to be... Those are my two favorite. Yep. Wait a minute. Yeah, okay. These are my two favorite here, folks. These are, like I said, I've already opened up. But this is my favorite. If I was going to watch scary movies, this man, he can ride a tail like no other. the king of horror, Stephen King. You know what I mean? Too numerous movies to mention. Just, they will scare you. I mean, they just adapted. I know his books are, one thing I will have to say, Stephen King, please, get your fascination away from young children and things like that. We don't need that kind of weird stuff in movies, but, hey, let me give you a worthless fact here about Stephen King and how he came up with the clown from It. I learned this years ago that Stephen King was on a plane flying back from somewhere or flying to somewhere and was sitting next to a person who went around who was a Ronald McDonald. He played Ronald McDonald at whatever place he was, McDonald's he was at. But he was completely drunk and very drunk, I don't know, belligerent, whatever, sitting next to Stephen King. And so that's where he got, a little fact for you, a little tidbit, where he got the idea to come up with the clown for It. It's based off of a drunk Ronald McDonald that he met on a plane. Thought that was kind of funny. And I'm going to show you the most iconic, if you're going to think about 90s music, grunge from the 90s, you cannot go without looking at the famous man himself from Seattle, Corded Kurt Cobain, with his guitar there. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's Corded Kurt. That must be Courtney flying above him. You know what I mean? Nirvana. If you're someone from the 90s, you might like Nirvana, you might not. But you know what? I'll tell you right now, Nirvana, they kick it. That's all I'm going to say about that. They just kick it. You ever just want to amp up your hype? You're having a party, you just want to kick it up. Your party's kind of boring. People are like, nah, 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 nah. Kick up some Nirvana, and you'll be having people bouncing off the wall. You know what I mean? It'll bring you up when you need to be brought up, and it'll bring you down when you need to be brought down. But there you go. Why we hate the 90s? Because we thought it was so bad. But little did we know, what 2020 would look like. Like I said, I'm doing this right now because 2020 made me crazy. And so I need to show these. I need to bring some sanity back to 2021 and some happiness and be over with 2020. So thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a good time, as always. Like I said, and in my other videos, you might be someone who likes to look at Garbage Pail Kids or collectibles. You might be someone who likes to look at, rocks I found. You might be like someone who likes to look at, metal detecting. And that's alright, you know what I mean? You don't have to be into Garbage Pail Kids. It's childish, you know what I mean? But it's a flashback. I'm just having a good time. I'm just trying to show you some cards. That's what I'm doing here. I'm just trying to have some fun. Hope you have some fun. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to bring anybody down. I'm not trying to bring politics, religion, anything into this. You know what I mean? It's just about having fun. Can we just have some fun? That's all. We just need some fun in life. That's all it is. So I want to thank you for watching. I hope to see you next time. Have a good night, a good day, good morning, good afternoon, good whatever, whenever you're watching this. Eating breakfast, eating dinner, eating lunch, eating a snack, drinking some water, drinking some pop, drinking a cocktail, whatever. driving down the road, sitting on a bus, flying on a plane, sitting in a submarine, sitting on a ship, you know, driving in a tank, doing whatever. You know what I mean? Do whatever makes you happy in life. Just don't hurt people, you know? Just accept everyone and just have a good time. Life's short. You know what I mean? There's no point to complicate things. Let's just be happy. You know, look out for each other. Be safe. Go to bed. Have a good night. I'll see you next time.